Have you been compared with your friends? Have you ever been compared with your siblings? Have you ever been compared with your colleagues at work? Have you been compared with other people in a society? Being a spouse, have you been compared with another person's spouse? So these are the questions which I have for you today. Watch my video regarding these questions and what are the impacts do we have and what are the things which we can do to avoid these kind of questions. Hello, today's new adventure, new video for Life in Motion vlogs. Again, I've received good feedback about my last video and about being flexibility. Now I've had a couple of my friends or some of my acquaintances who already replied me on my Instagram story. But before that, before I start into my new video, let me remind you guys one thing. Here I'm not talking about the bad qualities about a specific tradition. I'm just taking you through a journey of my experience. Now, I'm from an Indian tradition, so I can really relate to that because that's what I can put in front of you as an example. So once again, I'm not against any traditions. Keep in mind, I'm just taking you through my experience. Today's topic, the most important topic, competition. So competition. You'd be thinking why I'm now sitting in my car. Yesterday I was doing my video shoot outdoor. Today I'm inside this four-wheeled cabin. It's nothing major. Like today it's raining outside, so I thought I can sit inside and share with you one of my favorite topic today. So coming back, my topic today again is competition. Now, have you ever been compared or have you ever been asked to compete against other person, another individual? So here I can relate to you on an example. Now let's take the life cycle. Okay, so from the time you're born, now imagine you're born, so that's when you start seeing the world, the people around you. Of course, initial 3 years or 4 years, or maybe 5 years, you have no idea about competition. Slowly, when you start understanding the situations and the environment, suddenly you start into this world of competition. Imagine, let's start from there. Now you are being competed with another child. If you have siblings, you are being competed with your siblings. Now you start growing. Now again you are competed with another child in your class or in your school. Then you start again further growing. You are being competed with or compared with another teenage. Then you grow up into your further higher studies. So you are being competed or compared with another child or another kid. You enter into a career world. You are being compared or competed with your other colleague. Then comes a time when you need to find your life partner. Again, you are being compared and competed with your another person who has just got a life partner. What examples or what another scenario I can give you? Then what happens is when you start your family life, or let's say then you start once you find a life partner, then you start gaining further assets like a house, a car, a good job, So again, you are being compared or you're competing with another person to get all these assets. Then you enter into a parenthood. Then when you don't have anything or you don't have much left over to compete, then you start using your kid as a competition. um, Once you are gone from this world, the kid takes over um, your this competition mentality, and he continues with his entire life cycle. Have you ever thought that this is going in a very weird way? Like, we are always inside some kind of a pressure cooker where this competition is actually pressurizing your brain in every walk of your life. Think about it. Ask yourself this question. At some point, consciously or unconsciously, you enter into this competition. You start comparing, you start competing with everything. About competition between siblings and friends. It's a common belief that siblings and friends, they are two distinctive categories, that never overlap. But however, in many cases, friends and siblings are involved in a constant competition with each other. This competition can be in various forms, like in terms of academic or in terms of social status or even affection, from parents. Want to highlight is, due to this competition between the siblings, one sibling actually wants to stand out in front of the parents. So what happens? It's like a point system. Now, the more activity or the more actions he do in life, he is actually gaining popularity with the parents, where the other person is not gaining anything. And finally, the point system, whoever has got the total points and who has got the highest points gets the full affection or attention from the parents. And when the other person is trying to do everything good in his life, it's been ignored. So these are some of the things which you guys might have seen or may have gone through. I have seen it, that's why I'm sharing with you. And again, I'm telling you, Life in Motion blogs doesn't say anything fabricated. It is the reality. I'm trying to explain you what the reality is in life. It can be different from person to person, but what I'm sharing is what I've gone through, and I'm sure about it. At some point in your life or in anybody of your friend circle or anybody would have discussed with you that they are facing these kind of competitions. Imagine you are competing with your siblings. Now, I've seen it, and sometimes I was also a part of it during my childhood, that you get to compare with your sibling based on the good characters he or she has. So, for example, my good character is compared with the bad character or the negative character of my sibling, or my sibling's good character is compared with a negative character of mine. Have you ever seen these kind of comparisons in a family? Ask yourself, just pause for a moment, think about it, and see how it has been happened. Even when siblings are grown up, both the siblings are compared or they are forced into competition between each other in terms of career wise, in terms of responsibility handling, in terms of maturity, in terms of mentality, in terms of attitude. From the ground level itself, we are being tuned to be competing or being compared. And that is sometimes the end effect, or what I've seen, and I've seen from a couple of my experience in my life when I've hear the story from other people, is these people actually enter into some kind of a resilience, that what they start thinking is, why doesn't my, I mean, one person thinks, why doesn't my parents see the good thing in me? And the other person starts thinking, why does my parents doesn't see good things in him or her? So these are the questions which usually comes in mind. And you know what happens at end of the day? That is when, because of this competition, the affection or the bonding between the siblings starts depreciating. This is what some of the parents, I would say, doesn't realize this. They actually, or they are intending to bring this competition to have a sense of understanding between both of them. So how the life should be taken forward, or how to behave in different phases of life. But they are not understanding that this is leading to further more aggression in each of them. Like they are trying to fight, or they're trying to compete. And this is what is actually bringing that kind of separation between them. Another point which I want to, or again, I'm just relating with the same point itself. Another thing what I want to tell you is, again, I'm just trying to relate with the same concept about siblings, competition or comparing between siblings. When, I mean, whenever it is required, when a major decision has to be taken for either of these siblings, usually the person or one of the sibling who has got the highest point gets more attention, and he gets all the benefits in his life from his parents. And that is when the other person feels so depressed, so low in life, and he starts to move away from this family. Now, not all siblings, some of them have the endurance to actually face this, because he's gone through the same thing in every walks of his life. For example, like me. So for me it doesn't, or a person like me, it doesn't matter. Yes, I would feel a bit kind of upsetness, and that is normal. Even I'm a human, I'm not a robot. But then when the same thing goes through your life again and again and again, you start ignoring it and say it's just a common thing, or it's just the same thing which is happening, and ignore the topic. Also, have you ever seen, or have you ever experienced in your life? This is one of my colleagues, or one of my friends who actually shared with me. When the siblings, the parent who is standing in between the siblings, and when the parent discusses the negative traits about one sibling to another, the other sibling loves to hear it. Wouldn't you love when somebody is talking nice about you? It's the same thing. But keep one thing in mind. When somebody is talking good about you, the same person can talk bad about you as well. That is the law of nature. So when you feel that you are so happy when a parent discusses the negative traits of your other sibling, don't be so happy, because at some point of time the same person can discuss the negative traits of you to the other sibling as well. So keep in mind. Then imagine, so now the sibling comparison or competition is done. Then you start thinking about competition between friends. Now there can be good friends and bad friends. So imagine a competition, let's say a fierceful competition between two friends. This can actually spoil a very good friendship as well. Imagine the parents are putting pressure on children. Compete with him in terms of academics. Compete with him in terms of sports and extracurricular activities. Let me put you for coaching of these extracurricular activities. Have you ever thought of your child's brain function? Have you ever asked your child what does he or she prefers, or what does he or she wants, rather than us being a parent trying to push, 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 and once we go above the point, that's it. That's when the kid becomes rebellious. Think about it. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, I wanted to share with you because I thought this is some of the topics, or this is some of the statements or experiences I thought I can share with you. Some of the people who are very lucky to have those genuine good colleagues or friends who have healthy competition, and during that healthy competition also one person supports another person because they want each other to reach the same destination point. I've heard about a lot of stories like that. Again, if you have someone like that in your life, treasure them, because it's very hard to get those kind of people in this real world. So treasure those people, and as I said in my last video, support each other, because that's when both of you will be reaching the final destination of where you want to reach. During that phase of life, when you and your friends are actually trying to reach the destination or the success level, when you both support each other, it's always good to celebrate each other's achievements as well. That actually motivates each other. And, rather than bringing that competition over, when you keep supporting each other, you actually get to that success level much faster. And if at any point, if one of the person drops down or drops out, give him a hand, pull him up. These are some of the things which you need to think about it. I mean, just sit for some time and think about it. While you're working in a corporate world, would you feel good when you are being compared with another colleague of yours? I won't feel good. I mean, I assume you guys also won't feel good. But have you ever seen, it's always good to have a healthy competition. Of course, competition is required. I mean, if there is no competition, we will not reach where we want to be. But then, rather than competing with somebody else, have always a self-competition. For example, let's say today I had to, set yourself personal goals. And when you achieve your personal goals, you can see the sense of achievement or satisfaction in you. Rather than when you compare with another person, maybe that person would be progressing really fast. I mean, this situation can actually bring you down. I've heard I think I've read somewhere, there was a very wonderful statement. I mean, there was a gum tree and there was a rose. Now, the rose was, the roots of the rose was comparing with the roots of a gum tree. Now, the roots of the gum tree, I mean, as you're aware, gum tree is that huge tree with a very huge bark. And imagine such a huge tree needs to have a longer roots. Now, for longer roots, it would have taken 20 years, 30 years for the roots to grow. But for the roots of the rose doesn't take much time, maybe a month. So you are trying to compare the roots of a rose with the roots of a gum tree. He imagined that gum tree would have gone through so much of the nature's, let's say the nature's requirements. So that's how we have become a huge gum tree. But gum tree is a strong tree, whereas the good thing about the rose is it gives flowers which smells really good. So both of them have their own qualities. So never compare or never have a competition on these terms as well. I assume you understood the point where I'm coming from. Again, as I said, the most valuable information I want to share with you is have a healthy competition with yourself. Strive every single day to be the best version of yourself. So that will actually bring a sense of satisfaction in you. When we get into family life, I've also seen competition between spouses. Have you ever heard about it? When one spouse goes above in terms of career, the other spouse feels a kind of aggression. Again, in my tradition, I've seen that a male, I'm not sure is it common in my tradition. I think probably it can be common in some other traditions or in some other lives as well. But then, if there is anything, if I'm wrong or right, please comment on it. So usually when the wife goes above in terms of career level, the husbands actually don't like it. It's always the male domination happens, which is wrong. Support each other. She is also a child of a father or a parent or her parents. They would have so many expectations about her. As a parent, he also would dream about having a good career for his wife or for his daughter. So now when their daughter comes into your life as your wife, it doesn't mean that her dreams and goals should be shut down. Support each other. As I said yesterday's video, support each other. Don't have the competition between the spouse, because you both are one. You both are one. Achieve the goals together. Rather than comparing with other couples or family, just compare within yourself in a healthy way and achieve those goals. Another competition, what I've seen is having in terms of number of children. Now, if this person has 2 children, we need to have 3 children. If that person has 1 child, I need to have 2 children. Again, competition. And when they have 2 children or more than 2 children, that's when again competition or comparison starts over there. Rather than having 1 child and giving your full attention to it, let that person gets everything in their life. So this is like a vicious circle. It keeps on going and going and going. It never reaches an end unless a sensible person stops it over there. So again, I assume you are liking my videos, so please like, share with as much as you can. As I said yesterday, or as I've been telling, the more you like, the more you share, it gives me motivation to share more contents, realities in life, which you may benefit or may not benefit, or which you can help somebody else benefit in their life. So keep liking my videos. I'll be coming soon with another topic. So again, today's topic is very simple: competition, which you can see in every phases of life. I assume you are liking my video. Born till the time you are leaving earth or leaving your life. Sometimes you go through those pressures during every phase of life. Guys, everyone, my advice. I know it's very easy to say, but my advice, you guys are pressurizing yourself. And it will blast one day. It will blast one day. So stop comparing, stop competing. Competition is good. I'm not telling competition is bad. Have a healthy competition, but don't compete to show that you are better than the other person. Have competition within yourself. Try to make yourself better than yourself. So this is what I wanted to say. Until my next video, keep liking. Life in Motion blogs will come to you again with more contents. Keep liking my video, share my video as much as possible. Until then, take care, support yourself, support your partner, support your family, work together as a team. Stop comparing, stop competing, have a healthy competition. Until then, take care, bye-bye.